Well, hello everyone, and welcome to the virtual Cobalt Cafe, week number 285 of our series. Glad to have you here with us. My name is Rick Lupert. I'm your MC for the shindig, for the festivities tonight. In addition to our open reading, our featured reader is Rich Youmans from Massachusetts, where it's 1 million o'clock at night. Rich is committed to not getting any sleep tonight to be able to participate in this, and we very much appreciate that, Rich. And we're looking forward to your reading in a little bit after a little bit of our open mic. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to do five open readers first, and then have Rich read, and then the rest of the open mic. If you would like to participate in the open reading and you haven't already done so, please send me a message in the chat and I will be happy to add you to the list. I see a few people have done that, Mr. Tezazomok and Bill Gaines and Heather Romero Kornblum. So please count yourself as added to the list. And Eric Lawson, you're all in, and that's how it's going to work. As a reminder, it's two poems maximum, and the suggested time limit is less is more. Beyond that, the second thing that you need to know is there is a one drink minimum here at the Cobalt. Please make sure you observe that long-standing tradition. And finally, make sure you have the chat room open. The chat room is where you can interact with each other since everyone is muted throughout the festivities. I believe that is everything I need to tell you. I'd like to know at this point, before we get to our first reader, who will be Melody Anderson Bermudez, if anyone has any questions. Finn Bell, yes.
Yes, good evening, Rick, and good evening, everybody. Rick, if you were any generation, any evolution of Pokemon, what would you be?
Wow. We're going to have to assume that I know everything there is to know about Pokemon. So when I say the most generic, uh, the most recent good one, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. You're nodding. Great. I think I've successfully answered that question in a satisfactory manner. Maybe one of the yellow ones. Is there a yellow one? I'd like to be a yellow. Yeah, we don't, no one knows? Okay. We'll find out. Martin, what's your question?
Oh, good evening, Rick. I was just wondering if you have a favorite E. Cummings poem or line.
Oh, that's a great question. I don't know his work well enough to pick something out, but when I think of E. Cummings, I think of all the crazy lower casing of everything, and so I like that. I like how he didn't feel obligated to stick to the rules, as it were, when he was laying his words out. And that's the best I can do with Cummings at this point.
No problem.
So there you go. Is
Thank
that a satisfactory enough answer? We
Oh,
will be
yes, of
hearing
course.
more from you.
Yes, I'll be hearing
Good.
more about
Okay.
my feelings on that later, probably.
Excellent. Looking forward to it. Thank you, Martin. And it looks like Jackie has a question. Hi, Jackie.
Yes, Rick. So I want to know, is there a party you've attended that is particularly memorable? And can you tell us a little bit about it?
Um, That's a good question. I remember going to one in high school and having a wine cooler. This was probably 1986. And then that sort of influencing me to ask my mom if she would buy me a 4 pack of wine coolers because I thought, okay, now I'm a person who drinks wine coolers. And she did. And then I drank like one and a half of them. and went to another party where it felt like a lot of people were trying to convince me to drink. And I decided in sort of an anti-peer pressure thing to never drink again. And I didn't drink for like 30 years for
Oh,
no
that's really
particular.
good. Interestingly, wine coolers were my favorites as well. They had the coolest flavors. The mixed berries. They were so good. Thank you, Rick.
Sure. Thank you. Okay, great. Before we get on to, Christopher Bogart has a question. All right, one more question, then we'll get going.
Based on today's Facebook encounter, Vulcans or Klingons?
What was the first choice?
Vulcans or Klingons?
It's a reference perhaps only three of us are going to understand, Christopher, but I guess it depends on the era. I mean, we all got along with the Klingons at some point, and I think they brought a lot to the table. But the Vulcans, for the most part, have always seemed to be, on our side and the good guys. Can you say guys in reference to Vulcan? I'm not sure if they use those gender terms.
I don't know.
All right. Well, thank you. Thank you for that reference to my Facebook post where I posted a picture of noodles that I reminded me of Klingon Goff, which of course we all know since we're all very familiar with Vulcan cuisine and Star Trek that Goff is best served live. All right. I think that's enough of the questions. We're going to get on to our open reading. Um, on deck, our second reader will be Julian Matthews. Please welcome our first reader, Melody Anderson Bermides. Hello, Melody.
Hiya. Okay, this is called Misty. An angel is an angel. What could I do? An angel is an angel. It could happen to you. The big dog jumped her. That was the end. Sadly to say, I lost my best friend. Misty had a growth on her side. It kept growing long and wide. She was young in a way, 15 to a day. The vet would say 105 if a human today. Misty was sweet, she was kind, helped me out of many a bind. She jumped up and down like a teen, slept with my wife in between. An angel is an angel, what could I do? An angel is an angel, it could happen to you. I miss Misty every day, but I feel her near. I keep on crying, many a tear. Misty is in heaven, flying with gossamer wings. While she barks every day, the five dogs left. A chorus sings. We love her so. Misty went somewhere, but where did she go? Flying by with halo and wings. How much is that doggy in the window? The five dogs left, the chorus sings. I miss Misty every day, but I feel her near. I keep on crying, many a tear. My poem about my baby.
Wonderful, Melody. Thank you so much for being here. Great to hear a little music to start the evening off as well. Thanks for being here. Round of applause for Melody Anderson Bermides. On deck, Jackie and Finn Bell acting as the collab tonight. Please welcome now Julian Matthews. Hello, Julian.
Hi. Oh. Can you share screen, please? Okay. Writers unblock. I write when the quill is blooded, the fountain pen flooded, the typewriter click clack clucks like a rooster in heat, thumbing the phone in a manic djembe beat, drum beat. I write when words erupt in a strombolian call, slanted lines drop like a fat tropical squall, stanzas roar like croaking choruses in lust, the roadrunner beep beeps, leaving wily coyote in the dust. I write to pacify these razor burn urges. Put it on paper and purge the soul's dirges. I tap, jab, stab, and pummel the screen. Read it all out loud in a Munchkin scream. I write and write and write and commit to the dream. The second one is called Sellotape. Thank you. Sellotape. We were born in the same year, but she's a dragon and I'm a rabbit. I was born too early in the year to qualify as a mythical fire-breathing symbol of power, good fortune, and strength. My Chinese zodiac animal was relegated to being sensitive, vulnerable, tricky. I never believed in any of that anyway until recently. I'm sellotaping boxes and keep losing the snipped end. It's invisible to my fading eyesight. I don't have nails long enough to run around the roll and locate where I cut it earlier. I hand it over to her. She finds it easily, carefully unrolling it so it doesn't snap or split. She tells me to fold the end tip the next time. We are moving, the boxes are filling up. What do we keep? What do we give away to friends, to charity, or just trash? Some were wedding gifts, some were souvenirs from travel, some were purchased with pride, then never used. It's hard not to get sentimental. The sellotape roll screeches like a banshee in my hand, protesting with every cardboard lid shuttered, as if it knew every unspooling would hasten its demise. We are empty nesters, retired, and need to put away things for good, cut our expenses, downsize. Our lives too are unspooling, our usefulness unraveling, reaching the ends of our invisible tapes. I snip the tape, and the end disappears into the roll again. You harump your annoyance. I'm miffed too. I bring the sellotape roll right up close to my eyeballs. Fuck, I can't see a damn thing. I swear I hear the sellotape softly snigger at my frustration. Being invisible even momentarily buys the sticky tape time. It's its superpower. Whereas all this wanting to be seen and heard is just my ego tripping on itself. She sighs, prefers a hand, her nails unsheathed like a dragon's claw. I give in, hand the tape over sheepishly. A rabbit fading to white. Thank you.
Thank you, Julian. Nice piece there. You remind me that sometimes it's our partners who can do the essential things that we have no ability to do, finding the end of the tape that we've somehow lost as it flattened out on itself. So thanks for that. Thanks for being here. Round of applause for Julian Matthews. On deck, Ken Scott, please welcome Jackie Chu with Finn Bell. Hello to both of you.
Hi, I would like to share screen. Okay,
Go for it.
let's see. Okay, great. Okay, so Finn, maybe you can start party line.
Drooling rehabilitation hospital. Roommates listen to stories of pastries, cakes, and pie parties.
80th birthday, still in hospital, planning parties with friends and family that will go on for months.
Party night. Old timers have fun. Home before dark. Birthdays considered better than the alternative.
Doctor's work party, enjoyed food and cake. Guests did too, then dated his orders and notes. Well, the actual year of his birth. Go ahead.
Oh, sorry, I lost it. I don't know where I am.
No worries.
Oh, is it this one, holidays?
Yeah.
Holidays crowded, pick and choose parties. Oops, I lost it again. Oh, holidays crowded, pick and choose parties of friends, birthdays too, solved. Discussion with friends, all celebrations in January.
My real love did not show up for my birthday. Should
Aw,
I gather a pity party instead?
I
I'll
like
just
that one.
read the next one. Thank you, Finn. Attending every party in school to run into him. Only strangers' faces in the smoky air.
Do you want me to read the
Finn.
next one?
Yeah.
Can you scroll up a bit, Jackie?
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Thank you. Sycamore leaves, the biggest and best at every place. Is there more?
Yes. Oh, sorry. Can you
Oh,
see it now?
I can see it now, yes. Sycamore leaves, the biggest and best at every place. It was a poet's party, and we wore them on our heads.
Spin the bottle in a birthday party at home. Whatever happened to the boy I kissed? The cop cars and the ambulances, not here for me. Yet why do I feel like the guilty party?
How can it
And you
be? Oh, okay.
can,
How can
sorry.
it be? No worries. You're so close to family or friend, so dear, and yet we can't talk about parties.
Mardi Gras party, chasing, playing tag around around a birch tree. Wild turkeys have fun to pin feathers to others. Cleaning lady coming to do hard work. Our puppy wags his tail at her, thinking it's a party. Oh, okay. Can you read the next one?
Yes, can you scroll up?
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
The rest of it goes to the next page.
Oh, okay. Surprise party, our favorite is 4 a.m.
Go ahead.
Muse time with tiny sips of sake and a sweet.
After a few drinks, my father would be asked to do his fire dance. My mother's classic hula always brought down the house. Locating the commencement program from graduation, my name could have been anybody's name. Thank you, Finn. That was great.
Thank you, Jackie. That was really delightful. Thanks so much.
Okay,
All right. Well, thank
stop
you
here.
both. Jackie representing the OG collab, pinch hitting Finn Bell for everyone else. Nice job to both of you. You brought a party to the table tonight. Lots of different kinds of parties, which is always fun. Thank you so much for being here and sharing that with us. Round of applause for Jackie and Finn, and in absentia, the other folks who participated in writing that as well. On deck, Martin Parker. Please welcome now Ken Scott. Hello, Ken.
Good evening, everyone. I've got two pieces that I'm going to do. Let me make sure that this is set up correctly. First piece I'm going to do, both of them I did around 2019 when I was first evicted from the only home I knew for the past 4 decades and had to start all over again. And this piece is called The Good Christian Son. It makes no sense to be the good Christian son in a family that is neither good nor Christian by any stretch of the imagination. And please, do not be that middle-aged man who had to learn this bitter truth the hard way via the death of his own parents and the subsequent inevitability of his surviving relatives selling him up the river for profit. There are times at night When you finally shut out all of humanity's noise, you can literally hear the full moon howling in pain and torment at our wretched days. You can listen to the mournful souls of trees falling in anguish before the collective death of our very compassion, never to rise and sing again, ever. This is a vile, heinous day, where relatives are bloodthirsty sociopathic predators and Christians are self-absorbed psychopathic murderers. A day when the average well-to-do American would gladly sell out the nation's very social conscience and human dignity for that hideously elusive 1 in a trillion chance at becoming the next multi-billionaire superstar of the 21st century. A day when ravenous wolves called megachurch pastors devour the hearts and minds of the hopelessly superstitious American flock on blood-soaked altars called avaricious hypocrisy. A day when the core of human decency melts like a cascading river of fire, flowing into the bottomless burning depths of a long-forgotten abyss. Our nation is but a house built upon a foundation of quicksand. If no such thing can even exist, then what does that say of us? It is only a matter of time before the broom is put to the floor and we are violently swept away. Good sons and evil worlds simply do not mix. That's that one. And the second piece, hold on just a second. Still getting used to this. The second piece is more of a spiritual reflection written around the same time of loss. This one is called Shroud of Understanding. If I were to uncover the mystery of godhood, I would keep it to myself. And if I were to ever learn how to spread my wings across the stars and journey the heavens, I would tell no one. My most sublime revelations are for the children of ancient splendor, the citizens of eons past, the relatives of distant worlds who have communed with me through the fishes of the deep and the eagles of the air, the timeless voices that speak with waterfalls, earthquakes, and galactic starlight. My deepest teardrops have communed with the face of time, profound words reverberating throughout the boundless expanse of the singularity, ancient cities of splendor, enfolded within the brilliant blossoms of undiscovered dreams. To love the chaotic vortex is to never find the still center. I choose to rest from being what I never was, and I can only share my divinity with those who have already discovered their own. Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Ken, thank you. Nice work tonight. Amazing how that old piece is so, relevant today. Some of the things that you were talking about back then are really we're being reminded of as we, if we pay attention to what's going on these days. So thank you for that. Round of applause for Ken Scott. We have one more reader, and then our featured reader, Rich Youmans. Please welcome now Martin Parker. Hello, Martin.
Hello again, Rick. Well, in honor of this holiday this past weekend, I've been thinking about my partner. So I've got a couple poems I've read here before about her, but I wanted to share. This is first one is called My Partner's Crutches. She hates it when people ask her what happened so often when they first notice her crutches. I'm always on these, is her swift reply. When children ask her why she needs them, she'll say, my legs aren't as strong as yours. But her strength shows through from day to day as she makes her way through this crazy world that'll never truly know what an amazing miracle she is. And then this is one I read at my feature a couple years ago here, but it's one of the few poems I have more or less memorized. We'll see how well I do. This is called My Partner's Hands. My partner's hands are quite small. We put the bases of our hands together. Her tiny fingers, which are so slender, barely reach my second knuckle. They often remind me of that E. E. Cummings line, nobody, not even the rain, has such small hands. They can move very fast when she's typing for work or playing her favorite text to its game. Sometimes her palms can get calloused and cracked from having to rub against the handles of the crutches she's needed to use since she learned how to walk. Whenever we go together for a walk, it's impossible to hold hands, but we try, allowing a few of our fingers to entwine for a while. Some people don't understand why we want to hold hands so often when we're sitting together, sometimes tapping out the rhythm of the music we're listening to. But the subtle warmth that comes through with her touch is the most magical thing I know. And thank you very much. I've put my usual links in the chat, and International Polar Bear Day is coming up. So check out my polar bear design if you want to, among others, like my waves. Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you, Martin. Great to hear that work. Lovely love poems from you. What a lucky partner you have. And thank you for revealing to us an E. E. Cummings line that I maybe now will remember. So if I get asked that question again by anyone, we'll see what happens. Thanks for being here. Round of applause for Martin Parker. On deck after our featured reader will be Eric Lawson, which leads us now to our featured reader, Rich Youmans. Rich is a poet whose work came to my attention thanks to Rattle magazine. They send out an email every morning, and I read it before getting out of bed. It's honestly just an excuse to delay getting to work, but I am the richer for it, getting to read a poem every night. And a Hyblen was sent out by Rattle, which I enjoyed quite a bit, and put Rich on my list and asked to remember to invite him. And here he is. He's reading to us from Massachusetts, which means it's very late there. I know we've got people from all over the world actually, but it's 11 o'clock at night in Massachusetts. So Rich, I really appreciate you staying up late to be with us tonight. Rich has been writing Hyblen for over 30 years. And still enjoys it as an exploratory process, still discovering its possibilities. He's the editor of Contemporary Hyblen Online and its related print anthology, Contemporary Hyblen. He's got a couple of books out, one called Shadow Lines from Katsura Press, which came out in 1999. And as well as a book, an instructional book called Hyblen, a Writer's Guide, which he co-wrote with a couple of other folks, Roberta Berry and Lou Watts. So he's not just a creator of Hyblen and a curator of it, but he's a teacher of it, which is something that is valuable to all of us, and I think very generous of spirit as well when you not only are an artist to create your own work, but you're providing the tools and methods and inspiration for other people to create that work as well. So thank you so much for that. Rich, really happy that you're here with us. Please welcome our featured reader, Rich Youmans.
Well, thanks very much, Rick. I appreciate it. Thanks for inviting me. It's nice to see everyone. Nice to hear your poetry. As Rick mentioned, I've been writing Hyblen for 30 years. I'm still not sure how that happened, but the form itself is just it's always just captivated me in the sense that because you have this terse, concentrated prose, the haiku, and the way that they can combine, hopefully, where they interact, they create leaps, they create resonances that hopefully deepen the reading experience. At least that's the goal. So I'm going to start off the reading with actually the Hyblen that Rick had seen in Rattle. It was published with they did a tribute to Haibun. So this is called Brain Teaser. And just a couple of prefatory comments. First, I'm going to read the haiku twice, which is sort of like the standard way of doing it. So if lines start to sound familiar, that's why. And also, this one has the second haiku is written in a little bit different style. It's braided, which is the lines are broken up between the paragraphs. So I'll try to read it to emphasize that. But so this is Brain Teaser. Daily commute. On the train platform, butterflies mad calculus. Daily commute. On the train platform, butterflies mad calculus. The first train moves north at a speed of 50 miles per hour. Bob sits in coach B, seat 38, staring at backyards spotted with plastic pools gleaming in the sun. He will arrive at his office at exactly 8:43 if there are no delays and no long lines at the donut shop, where every morning he orders a large coffee with 2 creams. If there are no more than 3 people ahead of him, he will arrive at the office at 8:54 unless he is served by the redhead with soft green eyes and a voice like a field of wildflowers. The train enters a tunnel, and his reflection appears in the window. He takes off his wire-framed glasses and sits taller, imagining all the things he should have said to her the last time. Riding backwards. The second train moves south, also at a speed of 50 miles per hour, past the backs of grimy brick warehouses. Anna sits in coach D, C28, scrolling through text messages and wondering why her boyfriend has not replied to her dinner invitation. She will enter the train station at 7:41 and, if all the traffic lights are green, arrive 12 minutes later at the donut shop, where her boss calls her red and her best friend constantly rolls her eyes. She will begin her shift at exactly 8 a.m., and by 9 a.m. she will have served 20 customers. As the train enters a tunnel, she wonders if today she will see the man who always orders a coffee with 2 creams. He seemed tender, so unlike Bradley, and behind his glasses, his blue eyes reminded her of a clear sky just before dawn. With every station stop. If the southbound train arrives 2 minutes late because of a malfunctioning signal, and the northbound train arrives 2 minutes early, and if Bob decides to order a crawler with his coffee because he missed breakfast, and if Anna chooses the cash register with the sticky drawer that increases the time spent with each customer by 1 minute, how long before Anna realizes Bradley will not text, and Bob finds the courage to tell her more than his order, and each of them no longer has to spend nights dreaming of pre-dawn skies and fields of wildflowers. A pang of longing. Riding backwards, with every station stop, a pang of longing. So that is Brain Teaser. And the next one I'm going to read, it's also about a relationship, a little bit different one. This is between 2 brothers, and this is called Buds. The wood has weathered to driftwood gray, but it's still our park bench. The same hard slats and chipped concrete arms, the same deep curve that turns my body into a question mark, and the exact same view of the public garden, where pale buds glow in the morning sun. 30 years ago, we'd sit here, 2 brothers stuck in a town too full of Sunday quiet. Weekends, we wandered down to Main Street, poking our heads into Mr. Jensen's bakery to beg a day-old special. Then up to Anderson's Drugs to check out the new comic books. And then to the park and our bench, where I'd make up tales of the days and nights to come, when we'd be old enough to break away. We'd fly to Paris, woo pouty-lipped women, run with the bulls in the streets of Pamplona, drink the Guinness dry in Dublin's old pubs. You'd nod your bulbous head, laughing and making those guttural noises that only our parents and I understood. Neither of us was meant to live here long. You left without me, as we all knew you would. And every year I return to the spot to watch the flowers bloom, their petals like tongues, speaking nothing but sun. Small town graveyard, every stone touched by another's shadow. Small town graveyard, every stone touched by another's shadow. So with this next one, with some of the inspiration I might receive might sometimes come from personal memories. Sometimes it comes from the news, which of late has not been that great. Um, and this next piece I'm going to write, this actually was written right after the war in Ukraine started, but it's really about displacement, which unfortunately has become too much a theme of our times. So this is called "In the Time of Refuge." These are the days when home becomes a dream whispered from ear to ear, when each hand carries what it can. A family Bible, pages of favorite psalms folded at the corner like wings. A green-eyed cat peering from a parka's fleece lining. A silver ring that once meant forever. In the distance, heavy thuds, another weight to carry, and then explosions that turn the air to a single high-pitched note, the streets to acrid smoke, to fire. The cafes, the schools, the churches all tilt and collapse into their own histories. Footsteps fall and fall. Along an alley's cobblestones, a mother wheels a denim suitcase with one hand, keeps her daughter close with the other. Now both palms lie face up among rubble, an offering to the sky. Border crossing, the way clouds drift and split apart. Border crossing, the way clouds drift and split apart. So this next one I'm going to read. Um, as I said, some of the times I'm writing about things that are more personal in nature, and this came from memories of growing up when with my mother. She was diabetic, and the toll it took on her body ultimately led to her blindness. And one of the jobs I had as a kid was to read to her, and that was something I really enjoyed. And actually, I kept through it as I grew up. And this Hyben really was inspired by that memory. It's called Alignments. After she lost her sight, I visited every afternoon and read aloud the day's news. She sat in her hickory rocker, her back to a picture window filled with sky. I sat facing her, the paper sections piling around me as I read through their abundance of bad news. In one day, two drivers exchanged angry words over a fender bender until one pulled a gun and shot the other dead. A rally for peace turned into a riot as war and anti-war faced off. A son, during an argument over his fiancée, threw his 70-year-old father down a flight of steps. Into the afternoon we sat, her face pointed toward mine. Yet her line of vision never quite hit the mark. Usually she stared past my left ear as if lost in a daydream. I'd ignore it, but now and then she would check herself. Am I looking at you? Quietly, I would move my chair a few inches to the left until our eyes aligned. Yes, I'd say, and continue reading, ever amazed at how such small adjustments could set things so right. Sundown. Reading to the blind woman, I enter her shadow. Sundown. Reading to the blind woman, I enter her shadow. And this next piece is somewhat along the same lines. It's really just about trying to make connections. It's called The Answer. By then, the only calls Robin received were requests to extend her auto insurance, even though she hadn't driven in years, or to press 1 to claim a credit rebate. She answered every one in the same way. Hi, how are you? Her voice, full of sunlight and cheer, as if the caller were a friend she hadn't seen for a while, or maybe her daughter checking up on her again, as if that night of rain-slicked leaves had never happened. Robin always kept her cell phone with her, even during afternoon bingo or when watching a classic movie in the residence lounge. The staff would exchange looks as the phone started chirping, and Robin answered with that same familiar greeting. Usually, on the other end, there would be a pause, followed by a bright, pre-recorded voice with another limited time offer. But sometimes there was a small gasp, something human, and a silence that extended for a heartbeat or two, as if the caller were actually thinking about it, as if the next words could be anything. Spring thaw, among snowbanks, a glint of gold. Spring thaw, among snowbanks, a glint of gold. For this next piece, going to go back to, again, sometimes get inspired by things in the newspaper, and this time it was more of a quirky story that I saw. Um, there's a note that I attached to this hyphen as by way of background. I'll just read a little bit from it. And it says, Hataro Sasaki, a garden designer in Otsuchi, Japan, set up an unconnected telephone booth in 2010 so he could continue talking with a cousin who had died of cancer. There are now wind phones around the world, and the concept has inspired two novels, The Phone Box at the Edge of the World by Laura M.I. Messina, and The Phone Booth in Mr. Hirohito's Garden by Heather Smith, as well as a short film, The Wind Phone. And the idea just really hit me, and I decided to write about it, and I updated a little bit rather than a telephone booth. I made it a cell phone. So this is called Wind Cell. You'd think there'd be better reception from heaven. Periodically, my father's voice echoes as if there were five of him, or it's mangled by interference that I like to think of as stardust. Still, I recognize his gravelly timbre, the slight lift at the end of a sentence that turns even a simple observation, your mother hasn't stopped praying, into a question. He didn't pray, at least not during his time here. Who's listening? He'd always ask. I assume he knows now. There's so many things I want to know. I ask if anything in the afterlife has surprised him. I still hate lima beans, he says, although the last two words are garbled and could be lime and beers or lying beans. I ask if he has any regrets, but his words become small and high-pitched like a convention of mice. It's almost time for me to pass along the phone, and I can have only one more question. Will I see you again, I ask, but my ears fill with silence. His diary, all the pages blank. His diary, all the pages blank. And I'm going to do one more. Thank you. One more. This was along the same theme. And this one I'm going to dedicate to my wife, Alice, who's here now, who I call Belle. And this piece is called In My Next Life. In my next life, I will know how to whistle. I will be able to true a 2x4, hammer a nail straight with three swings. When I tell a joke, I won't step on the punchline. In my next life, I will hit a grand slam, throw a touchdown, score a goal with 3 seconds left. I will solve the value of X in every equation. I will unravel the mysteries of our DNA, discover a star burning light years away, cure the common cold. Or, if I am really lucky, I will meet you again. I will recognize your smile, your laugh, the familiarity of your cheek touching mine. We will stare at the sky and take long walks. I will listen more, no less. Fuzzy dandelion, holding my breath a little longer. Fuzzy dandelion, holding my breath a little longer. That's it. Thank you very much for inviting me, for listening. I appreciate it.
Rich, thank you so much. I love that last poem. The concept of, some of us, many of us have trouble accomplishing the items on our current life's bucket list. So the fact that you have a list for the next life is very ambitious. And thank you in advance for curing the common cold when you get there as well.
I'll let you know.
Please do. And do let us know if they have lima beans in at all in the afterlife. You'd think they just plain wouldn't. That's one of the things that you'd achieve the lack of when you got there. I also love the line, "Drink the Guinness dry in Dublin's old pubs," and that brought me back to doing exactly that when I was in Ireland a bunch of years ago. So a success there. I love the Haibun form so much. It's, to me, it's like two poems talking to each other, or one poem elevating, the more common language of the other poem in this very poetic way, as the haiku which follows does. So you're a master at it, and you brought so much good stuff to us, and I really appreciate hearing a whole set of those. And I'm going to share with everyone the broadside for the poem that you sent, which was actually the last poem that you read. Let me click the right buttons. There you go. And I pasted some stuff in the chat as well. So this is how we compensate our featured readers. We make a broadside for one of their poems, which you can then download at the Cobalt Poets website. The link is the first link I just pasted in the chat. If you're watching on YouTube, poetrysuperhighway.com/cobalt, and then click on the broadsides link there. And you can download this. It's an 11 by 17 print that you can print or look at, or whatever you would like to do with it. It's there. So please do that. Rich has declined for actual monetary tipping, which is also very generous of you, Rich, but suggested that you might head to a couple of places to check out his books. His chapbook Head On is available at redbirdchapbooks.com, also at the link in the chat, and the instructional book that I mentioned earlier, Haibun, A Writer's Guide, co-written with Roberta Berry and Lou Watts, is available as well at the next link there. So that's you can hear that Rich is clearly a virtuoso at Haibun writing, and so to learn from him in that book is a great thing to do, and it's a great way to tip our poet to get one of their books as well. And finally, the second thing posted there, you can visit Contemporary Haibun online at contemporaryhaibunonline.com and check out what that is all about. Rich, I want to say thank you again so much for being here. I know it's late, so I appreciate you just agreeing to do this, and you appear awake. Maybe you live on Poet Standard Time like some of us do.
It's a screensaver, so.
Oh.
Yeah, I really appreciate it. I have to leave because I do have to get up early tomorrow. But thank you for listening, and thanks for inviting me. That was very nice, and very nice job with the broadside, Rick.
Thank you so much. And thanks for bringing Alice Bell with you as well. I was wondering who Bell was when I saw that tribute line in the poem, and now we know because she's here. So, hi, Bell. Thanks for coming. Thank you so much for being here. Beautiful work, and thanks so much. Round of applause for our featured reader, Rich Youmans.
Thanks very much. Bye-bye.
All right. I will quickly mention that next week, before we get to the rest of tonight's open reading, our featured reader will be Ellen Weber, who was here not too long ago in our open reading, and she's another poet who I came across at one of the readings I was at in Long Beach late last year. So she's going to be great. She'll be with us next week. That leads us to the rest of tonight's open reading. Here's who I have on the list in this order. Apologies if I missed some people. A bunch of people signed up right when I started the event, and that's the most difficult time for me to keep track of the messages that come in. So I apologize if I missed you. If you don't hear your name on this list and it was your intention to sign up to read, please just send me another message and I will be happy to add you. No problem. So Eric Lawson, Ike Waltz, Finn Bell, Christopher Bogart, Carrie Cox, Teza Zomok, Eric Eric Lawson not in there twice, my mistake. Michael G. Hickey, Heather Romero Kornblum, Bill Gaines, Sean Mahoney, Scott Norman Rosenthal, Dig Wayne, and me. So if I missed anyone, I apologize again. Just send me another message in the chat and I'll be happy to add you. So Ike Waltz, you are on deck. Uh, please welcome our next reader, Eric Lawson. Hello, Eric.
Hi, everybody. Nice to see you all. I have two this evening. This first one is called How to Build a Trebuchet from Scratch. Don't forget to start by telling me that you love me. Some alcohol and light kisses before bed set the mood. I am unaware, docile, and utterly defenseless. This is how you need me to be to ensure a successful siege on my heart. I am sleeping. I am powerless. I am yours. First, cut my pride open right down the middle. Use my untuned organs for counterweights. Next, use my ribs, fingers, and toes for sturdy timber. My hair will make for excellent bindings. Then, stretch my Achilles tendon up to my spine. This will provide the maximum elastic slingshot arm. Finally, use my bones and excess flesh to fortify. The conquered surroundings will put you at ease. The stockpiled ammunition will be my endless lies. Hurl them back into the night where you hurt still. I am no longer me. I am your tool for revenge. This is how I appear when I am undone. Your act of retaliation ensures your own survival. I am no more, deceased and now utterly forgotten. Some rubbing alcohol and pyre for a proper send-off. Don't forget to end by telling me that you love me. Thanks. This last one is called Pulling a Hat Out of an Aardvark Out of a Magician. Brace yourself, this is going to get messy. For my next trick, I shall attempt the impossible. Before your unbelieving eyes, I will extract an inanimate object from a live animal, while simultaneously removing said animal from inside of a semi-aware and hungover magician. The hat is your garden variety, easily found top hat. The aardvark is ill-tempered but likes to eat hats. The magician lost count of Patron shots and mistakenly thought hat in an aardvark was a drink. There is nothing magical about this hangover. After the Patron shots, I drank a hat in an aardvark. I puked out the aardvark, who puked out a top hat. In my stupor, I put on the hat and said, Alakazam! Before several witnesses, I married the aardvark, made love to the top hat. We had magical children, and to my surprise, they figured out it was part of the show. For my next trick, I will man up and tell you that I love you. Brace yourself. This is going to get brutally honest. Thank you, everyone.
That was amazing, Eric. I assume that's not just a poem, but an actual documenting of events that occurred probably recently.
You know me all too well.
Yes. Well, I wish you the happiest of life with the top hat, and may you give birth to many little chapeaux. And it's really nice to see you again. Thanks for being here.
Thank you very much, Rick.
Round of applause for Eric Lawson. On deck, Finn Bell. Please welcome now Ike Waltz. Hello, Ike.
Good evening. Holy Mary and her lamb. Yes, it's a noodle doodler. Let me explain. My wife is a noodle doodler. She constantly rearranges her spaghetti on her plate, and when cold, she complains. And now Holy Mary and her lamb. Hurricane Harry stole a Sharpie and drew Scary Mary with a crown, and Mary said, "It's Alabama! Bah!" The Sharpie, rather mean, painted a meadow green, ever so green. Mary in the center had golden hair. I won't let you down. You are all mine. And Mary said, bah. Mary took that Sharpie and drew and drew and drew a little dumb baby lamb. The lamb had 4 legs. The lamb said, yeah, I love you, ba. Meh. Mary could draw whatever she wanted. Ba. The lamb immediately bonded. Meh, meh. Mary drew a thick line between her legs, exciting the lamb, and the lamb said, draw a circle around me, and I'll ba for you. Meh, meh, meh. Mary twittered, don't move. Stand still when I say ba. You say meh, yes you will. The lamb jubilated, meh, 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 meh. Mary got hungry and the lamb had 4 legs. Mary said, hey lamb, can I chop 1 leg of lamb? Bah. The lamb said, I can jump with 3, meh, meh, meh. Take one, it's okay, okay. The lamb said, meh. Unconditionally, I will do whenever you say bah. Have another leg of garlic roasted lamb. I will follow you with 2. Yes, I do. Anything for you. Meh, meh. Mary invited God for a lucky pot of stew. Bah. The lamb said, meh. And for the gods, I give you all my chops, as long I can please. I am so meh, meh, meh. Mary walks on water ever since. The lamb floats, a bloated, legless martyr. Fake news twitters, bah. We follow direction to heaven. Meh, meh, bah. And one day, the moral of meh will face the addiction to bah. If you may, the bar will may you into history, a guilt no Sharpie can erase. What a fake normalcy stinks, and may remains to be the base. They hang the bar in a wink, and nobody has changed a bit. May, take a Sharpie, draw whatever. May loves bar, when je t'aime, mon amour means freedom fries, but can you dig this latest shit? Bah, may, bah, may, bah. And now, my fellow poets, after all my nonsense, let me conclude. Forget being pretty and petty for once. Accept the noodle doodle's bigger picture, as Mary does not eat dogs and cats out of Campbell's saucy cans. What 120 years of Dada says. So join me, as my America is what our noodle doodle ice killer so deadly does. We are 2/3 there. It takes only 1/3 more, and our presence will burst. That's it.
Ike, I'm still processing all of the sheep dialogue that you brought to us tonight. It's going to take me a while to. I jotted it all down so I could run it through the translator. So it'll be a while before I can properly respond to that. But I can tell you I really enjoyed it. I had no idea you were trilingual. So well done. I know it must be difficult living with a noodle doodler, and I hope that you both rise above that and are able to live life as intended. Thank you so much for being here. Round of applause for Ike Waltz. Well done, Ike. On deck, Christopher Bogart. Please welcome Finn Bell. Hello, Finn.
Hello, Rick. So I found out this morning that we lost another beloved poet in our community, our global community. Her name is Genevieve Ray or Genevieve Ray. She's from the UK. And so I wanted to dedicate this poem by Larry Lewis to her, Elegy with a Chimney Sweep falling inside it. Those 26 letters filling the blackboard compose the dark, compose the illiterate summer sky and its stars as they appear, one by one, above the schoolyard. If the soul had a written history, nothing would have happened. A bird would still be riding the back of a horse, and the horse would go on grazing in a field, and the gleaners at one with the land, the wind, the sun examining their faces, would go on working, each moment forgotten in the swipe of a scythe. But the walls of the labyrinth have already acquired their rose tint from the blood of slaves, crushed into the stone used to build them, and the windows of stained glass are held in place by the shriek and sighing body of a falling chimney sweep through the baked and blackened air. The ash was once a village, but snowflake time itself. But until the day it is permitted to curl up in a doorway and to try to sleep, the snow falling just beyond it, there's nothing for it to do. The soul rests its head in its hands and stares out from its desk at the trash-littered schoolyard. It stays where it was left. When the window fills with pain, the soul bears witness, but it doesn't write, nor does it write home. Having no need to, having no home. In this way and in no other, was the soul gradually replaced by the tens of thousands of things meant to represent it, all of which proclaimed or else lamented its absence. Until in the drone of auditoriums and lecture halls, it became no more than the scraping of a branch against the side of a house, no more than the wincing of a patient on a couch, or the pinched nasal tenor of the strung out addict's voice, while the sound of scratching was tapping all night, enlarging the quiet instead of making a music within it. It's just a way of joining one thing to another, myself to whoever it is, sitting there in the schoolroom, sitting there while also being led through the schoolyard where prisoners are exercising in the cold light, a way of joining or trying to join one thing to another. See that the stillness of the clouds in the sky opening beneath the blindfold of the prisoner and the cop who led him away toward the blank sail of the sky at the end of the world are bewilderment, so that everything in this moment bewilders them, the odd gentleness each feels in the hand of the other, and how they don't stop walking. Not now, not for anything. That was Larry Lewis, Elegy with a Chimney Sweep falling inside it. Okay, and this piece is no title yet, but it's for a theme, love in uncertain times. Revolution starts with the love we choose. My love is old hat, is old news. We are comfortable, we were comfortable, and I think I took for granted that I have known who you are. You've changed, my friend. Outmoded habits, loyalty gone stale, make me hold out hope that you'll become familiar again. Perhaps this current scenario we're stuck inside isn't meant to be. Change is inevitable, growth is painful, eruptive, disruptive. It is part of life. But I admit I do not like what you have changed into and who you are keeping company with these days. Love remains stubborn, it lingers. I remain. I do hope you know you can come to me, lean on me, begin to tell me the hard truths. I will not judge. At least I will try not to. Even saying this, my trust has turned wafer thin. My compassion nowadays can often not be summoned. Can I still lean on you too? I am afraid of what you're seeing through the eyes that do not truly see or know me, of the pictures they've painted for you, splashed vivid blue, menace and chaos, how they've convinced you it represents all of me. Will you believe them? Am I your enemy now too? I've not loved anything in my life in half measures, in the shade of secret. I will not. I love fully. I love in the open. Open your arms to me. Be open to our transformation into everything, anything we desire, what we do not comprehend yet. Open up the beautiful little nest where I dwell in your body. Hello. Hello, anyone home? Am I home yet? Is the door thrown wide open? I am love. And being this love, I am a place where you may land and find our softness. Fall with me. This soft I contain is my act of defiance, only jarring to those who do not know what love means, who refuse to understand it, who have run away from it and forgotten and replaced it in haste and called that new thing love. This other thing is not love. It is the farthest thing from it. You fall and you fall deeper and deeper rapidly. There is no landing, no solid ground. You become angry and afraid. You think this is called love too. I am love in revolt, love in constant motion, love that catches on fire from other hearts surrounding me, aflame, and our spirits rise. Our one spit embers levitate us from the pavement lighter than air, crown our bashed in skulls, an ecstasy, an epiphany. We are speaking all the lost and found languages that travel the earth. We speak joyfully to one another in tongues. I will not be made warped and longing, another fanatic's distortion. I am not a religious revival. I am church reformed, become consecrated and whole. Enter. Vengeful legions creep upon us through territories defeated, through swollen brackish. Swift, desperate boats will take falsehood as coin for entry in the cover of night. They will spirit off with those among our numbers who have wandered far afield. They will topple love's sublime statuary and defile her sacred temples. We've encountered this mad, senseless warring before. We have been ruin and rebirth. Love is love, is love, is love. Love, this love, is the oldest society we will know. We defend what she stands for. We defend each other. We brace ourselves. We embrace one another. We begin once more.
Couple of epic pieces tonight, Finn. Thank you so much. Thanks for keeping the memory of Genevieve alive, in particular through the words of another poet. As long as we remember the work and name of people, and in a way they're always still with us and their life continues to impact us. So very much appreciate that. Love is love is love. Finn Bell, thank you so much for being here. Round of applause for Finn. On deck, Carrie Cox, please welcome Christopher Bogart. Hello, Christopher.
Hi, Rick. I have an unusual two poems to read tonight. They're from a book that I put out about 3 or 4 years ago. That I didn't put out. They were published by Poetry Box. And they're part of a book of poetry called This Conversation. And what it's about is two men at a bar, two white men at a bar, who've never met each other before, discussing race. And there are a number of poems that are in there that describe what they're discussing. I'd like to share two of them read by two different poets. What I'm trying to do is, when the whole thing has been recorded, we're going to give it all to for free to any high school, college, university, church, anybody who wants to discuss race. And there are questions that go with it, and it'll be a donation. So that's what I'm doing right now. Here are two pieces. The first one, if I can share the screen, is by a poet, not by a poet. I'm the guy that wrote it, but he's reading it. He's a poet who lives in Sierra Leone, and his name is Spango. And the poem that I wrote for this is about the 12 million people that were kidnapped from Africa and brought to the United States. 2 million of them died before they got here and were dumped into the ocean. This is Spango reading the second of three poems about this, and this is the poem about what happened to them. Both of these readings are in honor of National Poetry Month.
Onna Ari, Miguel Hassan, a coon to cool, ocean, death. The coast of Mali's ocean sea was dotted with its ports. The slave ships dogged their sails, still felt awaited human cargo of 20 million captured from the land's interior. Don't survive the torturous journey to the western coast. Once they arrived at Mali's ports, their holy heads were shaved, their naked backs were scared with brands that glowed in the dark ship's holds. Their hands and feet were clad in irons before the ships depart. Their limbs were shackled hand and foot, 500 in each hold. The air, a fetid boulevard of human sweat and human waste. Many just refused to eat. The speculum performed this task. Some died slowly of body flux. Some jumped into the waves. 2 million stars, 2 million souls lie on the Atlantic Ocean's floor. A dead body cannot receive a double punishment. If there's no cloak to cover it, there'll always be the sea.
That's the first one. And let me see if I can find the second one. Okay, here we go. The second one, sorry, I think I did that wrong. All right. The second one is read by a New Jersey poet whose name is her name is Shamira wait a minute. Amira Shabazz Balil. That's her name. As I said, she's a New Jersey poet, and this poem is called A Sonnet in Honor of Emmett Till.
A sonnet in honor of Emmett Till. Nicholas Hayward was shot and killed while playing cops and robbers. We're only playing were his last words. Cops just couldn't be bothered. Dwayne Carrington held down when a cop's gun accidentally went off. Even though Dwayne had done no wrong, another Black life was lost. Ayanna Jones was in her bed when shot and died instantly. The cops barged in, their guns ablaze. It was being filmed for TV. Trayvon Martin, armed with Skittles and an Arizona iced tea, gunned down by a neighborhood volunteer, tried, and then set free. Cameron Tillman played in a house with the owner's permission. It took Cameron 15 minutes to die. He was offered no assistance. Tamir Rice was shot by a cop while playing in Cleveland Park. Tamir had a toy. Then the cop, he didn't care. He fired before the car even stopped. Tyree King was 5 feet tall and weighed less than 100 pounds. Police mistook him for a robber, peppered his body with rounds. Jordan Edwards was leaving a party when he was savagely gunned down. He sat in his car. He was shot in the head. No believable reason was found. Stephon Clark was shot in the dark 6 times in his back alone. Police said he was holding a gun. All they found was his phone. Gotham Jean was surprised in his flat by an off-duty cop on the scene. She shot, said it was self-defense. But the flat wasn't hers. It was Gene. Bianca Farah raised his hand, but the cop shot off half a clip. They said they thought they saw a gun. He had a bag of chips. Elijah McClain was walking home when a cop snuffed his life with a knee. I'm just different. That's all. That's all, he pleaded. I'm just different. His last words were, forgive me. Ahmaud Arbery was jogging in a white suburb as two men drove up in a car. They shot him 3 times in his hand and chest. He didn't jog very far. Casey Goodman was shot in the back, entering his grandmother's house. All he carried was a Subway sandwich, no gun, no Skittles, no phone. In the summer of 1955, they lynched 14-year-old Emmett Till. And even though it was many years ago, his memory just won't be still.
Thank you.
Thank you, Christopher. Thanks for bringing those voices in. That last piece, an important one to hear during Black History Month. Thanks for being here. A round of applause for Christopher Bogart and the voices he brought to us tonight. On deck, Mr. Tezozomok, please welcome now Carrie Cox. Hi, Carrie.
Hi everyone. Hi Rick. I have a couple of poems. Okay, so the first one, it's called Hand Over Fist. Hand over fist over hand until the waking undoes the last knots we know. Shrouded inside, shadowed features come out to play, curved clean, bone and muscle cohort and cling, the way the fast night sticks to the bottom of our slinky shoes. Visage of vixen, the whole room whitewashes the mixture of coiled colors wrecked with rain, a blue veined telegram tapped through chest walls. Come close like a brush. Leave like people in old photographs, glamour hammered into the skin, chilled like brick breaking open a new art, an old reason. Perhaps the air itself has intentions for the holes we leave. Grown slick in hatred, we dream of our own deaths, dream of Hollywood heroes, dream of fur and flesh and finding thick, rugged answers, thrusting distractions to shudder us back to believing, crack open in smiling sin. Dressed for danger, we stalk down evening, all old men asleep. The city waits for our hand-me-down heaven to bring it back to life. Behind closed doors, the dance of heated, wet-mouthed miracles give glow to shivered instinct, wrapped in fingers tasseled and tangled. We are known to ask for more than we need, to bite off more than we want to chew. Stripped to our hidden itching, the long halls of coincidence call us what we are in silence. You are flame to me, a consequence of unbloomed need breathing across flickering decisions, erasing spaces unhealed, molding a new vantage, a new language of chemistry, roadmaps burned and redrawn more simply, calloused caresses, steady and soothing, rolling through sky as if we had resolved that it meant more to vanish together, to circle around like prey and preyed upon, or childhood game, or forbidden dance, or old ritual, all circular, all moving, a span of time and space and second nature and unencumbered maleness unfurled slowly, wheeled gently, articulated in subtle slipping side by side, a cold victory lap. I bridged the fevers, waited in Dante's dungeon for a new way to burn, turned my own chaste face into a disgraced diatribe where you might forget what I looked like. A foreign city, an old apology under a bridge where your hands remembered me, where your disasters learned to avert me. But I stayed hungry, holy, hating, hell-bent on devouring, covered my eyes and bared my teeth, learned to not care if or when you had to leave, descended into ecstasy, threw a funeral for sanctity, blessed the bonds that shackled me, drank the poisons you made for me, stared down at my Midas palms, wishing all I touched could just belong. Hand over fist over hand until the waking undoes the last knots we know. Okay, I'm going to read one more. Okay, it's called Adam's Apples. It's short. My body aches like honeycomb, the sheen of slick sliding against my sleep-stuttered skin where I jumped fences, courting the greener side to come closer, till it clasped me like a corset pulled snug as a second rib cage. It's not a fever, the fan says, spinning harder to keep me cool, but the telephone stays silent where my fingers search for buttons in a world gone digital, a silent braille I cannot feel. There's a confession in every offering, a plea in every passing of the hat. Spiritually speaking, I'm a vessel leaking, carrying the village's water back. Thank you.
Thanks for being our vessel tonight, Carrie. Good to hear your work. Well read, as always. You really bring us in the way that you read. Round of applause for Carrie Cox.
Thank you.
On deck, Michael G. Hickey. Please welcome Mr. Tezozomo. Hello, Tez.
Hi there. All right, I've got two pieces. This one I wrote a while back, and it had a part of it was with Jesse Jackson in it. So, banal, fatal strategies of the stranger. They said, "Sing and rejoice," and of the galactic body. Oh, they claim we are star stuff, a fractal of the universe, the nonlinear quadratic iteration of an initial condition from the implosion of exhausted and burned out stars, the rebirth rolling wave of ashes, Fatu dust. Cynicism deprives the self-celebration of nomadic wandering stars, a prescriptive long series of romantic projections which demand the transformation of the oppressed into missionary forces of historical emancipation. The good Dantean pilgrim as strangerhood, inscribed with intellectual experience, tracing the instrumentality of universal reason. Truth is homeless. Homelessness breeds truth. When stars end their lives, they swell up and fall together, throwing off their outer layers, the galactic shell sung in chorus. As heavy, it will implode into a supernova. 99% of galactic matter is in our sun. The remnants are pockets of quantum horror vacui compressed by gravity. The gravitational stranger is universal, homeless, rootless. There is no mass in the empty lattice of space. Rootlessness relativizes everything, creates universality. But they say we are star stuff, polvo estrellado like powdered white sugar on waffles. The universal spread and the transgressions bear witness to the unprecedented popularization and vanalization of the cultish romantic individualism and its core themes of authenticity, alienation, aestheticization of the mundane. Bohemia and the social margin expanded and institutionalized into legitimate and subsidized social sanctuary. The There is no meaning in thinking and living where all you make is rational decisions one after another. That's not rich enough notion of experience of human life. Fundamentally important, what does life mean? Surely there is a better way to organize the world than star stuff, than the way it is organized now. Surely life could have more meaning in a different situation. The intellectual and the stranger play a game of discursive hide and seek from the stellar ghetto. Their close metaphoric conjunctions traditionally opened up to vast possibilities of cross-reference and mutual substitution. The stranger is the passion peddler, the salesman of desire, the nuclear synthesis of the unknown, and boredom has often been envisioned as both the historical and the normative prototype of the true intellectual, who we see as the man possessing an elevated privilege to pray with his epistemic advantages, while the true intellectual has preferably been deemed as a displaced person, as someone estranged from his base, uprooted, marginal to his culture of origin, his parochial customs, values, and beliefs. The venalization and its refusal and the fear of dealing with complexity, you can feel star-dusted by the stranger and the intellectual with their impassioned reductio ad absurdum, that you be sold banality. Remember how Stellar Dust turned Jesse Jackson from a serious social actor into a sort of banal caricature in the media? They banalized a real threat to the system, which was the Rainbow Coalition, a real threat, populist threat to the system, banalized into a joke. Banalization is a way to reduce complexity. It's a way to be an idiot. Rick Roderick. Confessional Stellar Dust banalize human experience by talking about it so much, about sex with your mom, with your dad, with your sisters, with your uncles, with your aunts, transsexuals, multisexuals, polysexual, pansexual. You will just talk about it until the whole subject becomes banal. And what used to be fascinating desires, interesting, important, strange, hidden, prohibited parts of the psyche is now left with a residue of silicon carbide, graphite, and nanodiamonds made at high temperatures in the atmosphere of stars, resistant to acid and left behind. The paradox of the stranger is, if everyone is a stranger, no one is. Dick Pell. I think we'll leave it at 1, so everybody gets a chance.
Very thoughtful of you, Tez. It was a good one you brought to us. So thank you so much for being here. Glad you've been coming more. I'm getting used to it. Getting used to you being here and your work. Round of applause for Mr. Tez Azomok. On deck, Heather Romero Kornblum. Please welcome now Michael G. Hickey. Hello, Michael.
Hello, Rick. Hello, everybody. I'm going to read a couple of belated Valentine's Day poems, kind of schoolboy crush poems. The first one is called To That Girl in Sophomore Biology. I can't stop staring at you, sitting in the shaft of sunlight by the windows in row 6. Your nut brown eyes, your cinnamon-colored skin, supple breasts still blooming inside your soft silhouette. And even on the molecular level, despite the fact your cells are constantly replacing themselves, it stings to know they are constantly extinguishing, like thousands of tiny campfires on the beach. And according to Professor Throckmorton, the entire topography of your lush skin will completely replace itself in just 28 days. Incredible. Just a month ago, your entire shell was a completely different you. You're recreating yourself without even trying. Equally amazing is that I seem to love each new you just a little more than the you before. Thank you. And my second poem is in 3 parts. And literally part 1 is the first poem I ever wrote in 2nd grade. I was quite the player in 2nd grade, apparently. The poem is called Love Poem, Part 1. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, you're my girlfriend, you are, you are. Roses are red, violets are blue. I hope you like me, because I like you. Part 2. The first poem I ever wrote was the worst poem I ever wrote, except to her, Ellen Curl, my second grade girlfriend. Eyes blue as planet Earth, viewed by astronauts in space, dimples, pleated skirt, knee socks. She showed me her appendectomy scar at twilight behind the gymnasium. And later that night, after dinner, I wrote my composition for her. The next day, had it recopied in gold ink and on special paper by Jim, my next door neighbor, an eighth grader with perfect cursive that flowed like calligraphy on fire. And the day after that, in school, when Sister Mary Peter turned her back in class, I slipped the poem to Ellen, whose smile spread like an ocean wave in slow motion. But later that month, her dad got transferred and Ellen's family moved to Mount Vernon, 60 miles away, which might as well have been Hong Kong. And all that week, I cried myself to sleep, hardly ate, didn't even watch cartoons on TV. Part 3, this really happened. 15 years later, home from college on summer break at the county fair between the cotton candy and Tilt-A-Whirl, a friend leads me to the parking lot, someone I have to see. And there she is, Ellen Curl, my second grade girlfriend, leaning against the silver pickup truck, still with those blue planet eyes, hugs, small talk. Remember second grade? And just before we leave forever again, she says, wait. And from the deepest, darkest regions of her purse, she pulls out the poem in gold ink, folded, fragile, paper tattered, yellow as a harvest moon. And it occurs to me in the parking lot, alive with rainbow snow cones and blue ribbon chrysanthemums, that I may have actually peaked as a poet with the first poem I ever wrote. Thank you.
Michael, thank you. It's a shame when you peak at your first poem. I don't know what you've been doing all the rest of this time, but keep trying. You know, maybe
Thanks.
you'll reach that level again.
Thanks, Rick. It's all been downhill ever since.
Glad to have you here. Thank you so much. Round of applause for Michael G. Hickey. On deck, Bill Gaines. Please welcome Heather Romero Kornblum. Hi, Heather.
Hi, everyone. So glad to be here. Yeah, really interesting night. Yeah, I'm gonna read my first poem. I just found out it's gonna be the Altadena Poetry Review, and I was like, whoa. So excited. You may have heard it before, but that's okay. I'll read it again. Desert. I was worried your sister wouldn't tell me if something happened to you. They would bury you without me knowing. Maybe public records would one day reveal that I'm no longer a separated wife, I'm a widow. I would go to the desert, a tribute to your run across. I must still have some particles of you that I could bury there, mixed with the sand, as I breathe in the illusion that I rose up with you. So that's desert. And then I'm going to read another poem, new poem, What It Looks Like on the Other Side of This. Kissing the cats' heads and randomly eating bread at 2 a.m. Knowing that you are held up by a life force that doesn't care whether you have all the answers. You are fat again, so fat. The fat you never thought would grow on your body when you were shriveled in a hospital bed, soaked in sweat, wires pumping into you, out of you, gauging your pulse. The bad doctor's laughter, a faint memory. You are now haunted in your nightmares by people who believe you are well enough to tear down. You realize this itself is victory. Being able and around to tell your story. Cliche that it is. So much rain and wind and sun and blah foggy mists. Mornings you didn't think you would have running up the stairs to your car from your little garden patio. How beautiful the wood of your cabin walls smells when you approach, knowing it's all yours. There was a space for you after all. In this world, you are meant to fit. Thank you so much.
Heather, thank you. Congrats on getting that piece in Altadena Poetry Review. That's gratifying. Hope you feel good about that. Thanks for bringing work to us tonight. Thanks for being here. Round of applause for Heather Romero Kornblum. On deck, Sean Mahoney. Please welcome Bill Gaines. Hello, Bill.
Hello and good evening. How is everybody doing? Um, excuse me. So, in honor of Black History Month, I would like to read a poem dedicated to every white man out there who thinks the world needs his opinion. It's called Podcastration, and it goes like this. On air in neon, it's an act of creation, and somewhere out there is an audience waiting. Go and find them, special boy. Surely they long to connect. Surely they hunger for words. Surely they'll pop in those buds for your petulant screams. Surely they'll pay the fee to watch you implode in a tangled mess of steel and sound. Shake your fists a little more, and surely someone will love you. That's the end of that piece. And another one, totally different. It's called Nolan Ryan Was Never Here. Years after everybody else, I came tearing down like a truck through the pass, and I didn't know when to stop, and I might have missed my exit. Regardless, I'm still driving a little too fast, and I don't recognize my surroundings, and there are people everywhere. The sun is setting. I'm still far from LA. Hell, I'm still far from Jupiter. I was guided by stars, but the stars fell apart. I inferred too much. I implied too little. Nolan Ryan was an angel once. Perhaps it's all his fault. We're in a desert here. We're on a fault line here. We produce ice cubes here because we need them. We found a mission here, but I walked away from it all. I was guided by stars, but the stars never knew. And that's it. That's the end of me.
Well, God, I hope not. But the end of your poetry set would be okay for tonight. Bill, the word podcastration is both the most uncomfortable and best word I've ever heard. So thank you so much for bringing that to us
You're
tonight.
welcome.
Yeah. I'm hoping to not have one of those.
I hope you avoid it.
Thank you.
Forever.
I appreciate your good wishes. Bill, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for your work. Round of applause for Bill Gaines.
Thank you, everybody.
On deck, Dig Wayne. Please welcome Sean Mahoney. Hello, Sean.
Hi, Rick. Hello, everybody. What was I going to say? Oh, something, I don't know why it came up, but when Bill was reading, you can drive over the San Andreas Fault if you take the 14 out to Palmdale. You can like see it carved into the hill there. There you have it. I'm done. That was it. That was my poem. I have one tonight. Not from a long line of revolutionaries nor bandits. Not from the well-heeled, the connected. No, the soil is my long line of people. Morning coffee for need, for a drive just to work all day. Glute exercises have helped, purple-skinned, translucent heart, a puppy a day, some puffy at night. Sleep, my love, you will step another 13,000 tomorrow. Saturday sabotage. Destruction is exhilarating. Maybe a latte, a bus full of tourists, celebrity grave sites. March in your streets, your cities and towns. Operators are standing by. Your information is confidential. Your socials, mostly secret. Please, the soil is my people. Morning coffee, my oracle, my upload for work. A tailored purple suit, cadmium yellow ruffles, your mouth a cannon anxious, blowing in from a long line of poetic license with only feet for moving your broken countrymen. That's the shit they used to say back when 300 million souls sang in different keys but stuck around and sang together anyhow. Till somebody shouted, "You hear something?" And rifles got packed, cocked, and locked like that. Don't fire until they have had that coffee, and you can read what's writ in the soil. Long lines of do's and won'ts, wrongs and wronger still. Thank you.
Sean, thank you. I'm so glad that you actually read a poem after your statement that that was it from you. I feel like we got a bonus from you tonight.
A freebie, a short freebie, yeah.
Well done. And so nice that you get to be on set with, is that Colin Jost and Stephen Colbert behind you?
Yeah. Oh no, it's not Colin Jost. It's James Tallarico and Stephen Colbert from last
Oh,
night. The interview that got banned from CBS.
oh,
They have a
well,
new
I didn't know
policy now.
about that.
Apparently, they
Thank you
don't
for,
want political content on the airwaves.
it's a whole new thing.
It's a whole new
What a
thing.
golden age of idiocy we're living in these
Yeah,
days, Sean.
true that.
Thank you for that. Thank you for being here tonight.
Sure. Thank you.
Round of applause for Sean Mahoney. On deck is me to close out the open reading. Please welcome now Dig Wayne. Hello, Dig.
Hello, Rick. Hello, everybody. Ooh, the drama. I'm going to read two, as we were supposed to. The first one, it's an older one, but I'm going to read it anyway. It's called Where Houses Were. Gigantic colorized phantasms run unbridled through the town of my birth, spooking me with a familiar gesture, balking at my emotions, testing the depths of lingering fibrous memories, treading the girth of disjointed landscapes scattered with abandoned two-stories, spinning untold stories I can faintly hear, freshly told in fragments, told in whispers. Burned out shells teeter on their soft foundations like loose, rotted teeth. Custom wrecking balls made of wind and time rattle up the dusty inhabitants, tipping false hats, greetings from front porch ghosts smoking menthol death futures. Shirtless feet rest upon blistered banisters, riding mowers slicing through ethereal teenage bedrooms, boarded up window drapes held in place with invisible rusty nail heads. Squeaky trap doors follow every move. Jump scares barely get off the ground before the next flash flood of adolescent snapshots corner me. Peddling my morning paper route to house after missing house, demolished vistas paved over for misidentification. Wrinkled walls weep over the loss of evangelical ceilings, leaking into sidewalk cracks and ghoul show candy stores, ringing up empty national cash registers. Spirits of delinquent landlords hide in brick chimney soot, flirting with responsibility. Where did the raised address numbers go? Transparent dog houses explain dirt circles, void of grass as long and round as a short chain will allow. Rarefied air circulates through stained glass memory prayers, murmured in empty pews and collapsed vestibules. Ladders made of clouds cast vintage shadows which evaporate each vaporous rung underfoot, leading me not up or down, only to the here and now. Scaling backyard fences pushed over in a breath, where a single blade of grass knows my face but can't remember my name. Thank you. Where houses were. I read this one last week, and I kind of decided I'm going to read it every week for a little while, that I show up just because I want to. It's called We Are Ice. Drown them in the bathtub at birth, string them up by their ankles like Mussolini. Make them dig their own graves before you shoot them in the back of the neck. Learn how to speak the language. Wet your tongue with questions for the missing adults. Fill your empty drawers with sock bombs. Protest against your reflection. We are ice, whether we like it or not. Everyone is innocent. Everyone is guilty. We have not been invaded by aliens. How many degrees of separation are you from the jackbooted others, pushing you to the ground, choking on aggression? All sons and daughters of your neighbors, if not you. You are ice. You can't separate yourself from humanity. We are ice. We are America. This is who we are. Don't get used to it. Thanks.
Thank you, Dig. Yeah, read it every time until it's no longer necessary. Important thing you got there. So appreciate that sensibility. Thanks for bringing it back tonight.
My pleasure. Thanks for listening.
Sure. Thanks for being here. Round of applause for Dig Wayne. Thank you, Dig. I'm going to close out the open reading with a couple of poems. This one is a love poem, sort of, for, well, last 2 summers ago when we were in Alaska, Addie and I had our wedding anniversary in this little town called Dawson City, which only had so many options for us on our anniversary. But I wanted to read this for two reasons. One is it came up next as I'm reading my entire book to you, and also because, among other things, it's Love Month here in the world. This is called Anniversary Dinner at the Aurora Inn. Addie folds a butterfly with the place-setting wrapper while I drink Canadian wine. A Merlot I chose. It was either that or the Chilean cab. When in the Yukon. This was not our first choice, but that place isn't open tonight. We are still each other's first choice, which is what counts. We're dining with lumberjacks or maybe gold miners. The music may be can pop. I don't know if that's a thing. I ordered the vegetarian dinner. That's what they called it, so there would be no confusion. We are the nicest dressed people here, possibly within miles. Sorry, kilometers. The electricity goes out halfway through our meal. Many people leave the restaurant. Addie becomes a chicken while imitating an earlier in the day ketchup squirt. Should I turn over the table? I ask Addie. I don't see any reason to do that, she says. Should I stand on top of the table in the middle of the room with a ketchup bottle and squirt it in every direction? She doesn't want me to do that, but she would enjoy it as long as she didn't get ketchup all over her. The electricity comes back on. We leave the restaurant. Now it's like you were at our anniversary dinner. Congratulations, everybody. You're always welcome at those, especially if you pay. Finally, this poem is one that I wrote for this week's Torah portion. It responds to the translation of the title. In English, it means offering. The poem is called What I Have Is For You, also for Addie. What I have is for you, everything, every penny and every object, the air that surrounds us, I have gathered so you could breathe it. What I have is for you, my skin and my words. I say them hoping they'll go into your ears and you'll keep them. I have so many things lying around. Collect them, organize them into rainbow colors if you must. What I have, even the things in my name, especially the things in my name, are all yours. My name is your name. Use it freely. What I have is for you, all of my time. Don't count the seconds. They are infinite and they are all yours. What I have is for you. This is my offering. Build something important with it, so in 1,000 years they'll still talk about it. What I have is for you. Let me fill your pockets. Let me be your entire inventory. Sorry, guys. I know you were hoping that I was going to give you a bunch of stuff, but it's all for Addie. So I guess you can, there's stuff she doesn't want. I'll put it in a pile and you guys can come by and pick through it and see what you might want. Thanks everyone for being here. I know we had some foibles in the chat room, which I didn't notice at first, and it made some people leave. So you people who left, I miss you. And then I eliminated the foibler, which seemed like a good idea. So hopefully that will prevent future foibles from happening. I want to thank also our featured reader, Rich Youmans, for being here. He's probably long since asleep by now on the East Coast in Massachusetts where he lives, but let's pretend he's hearing all these fine words of praise for him. Rich did a great job. You can download his poem there on the broadside. You can visit the website that he edits, Contemporary Hyblen, online right there. And you can also check out his books, the one he wrote, Head On, as well as the one he wrote with other people that's an instructional book to help you delve into the world of Hyblen, if you like, at the other link that is there. Next week, our featured reader will be Ellen Weber, a Southern California poet who, as I mentioned earlier, I saw read again recently in Long Beach. She'll be with us next week, and she's been here recently as well. That's it. I'm going to click on Ask All to unmute, so feel free to do so and say hi.
Hi.
Hi, and
good job, everybody.
I missed that was really dramatic. I caught it late, but I started reading. I go, wow, this is really going someplace. But I tell you what, I miss the